What's up, guys? It's Paul, the MMA Shark, coming at you after UFC 280. And exactly what I said was going to happen happened. Had another crushingly huge winning night. Got the big ones right. I had 4 max plays on this card, and I'm going to talk about all the recap, a couple questionable things that occurred on the card, and a little bit about how the MMA Sharks did today. So, awesome card, obviously, as we know. The hype was real. The fights absolutely delivered. 12 awesome fights from Abu Dhabi. And here's the breakdown of how it went for the MMA Sharks today. All the hard work that was put into this card absolutely paid off. At the end of the night, I was able to say we did it. So, fight one, the Karol Rosa fight, I didn't want to lay any juice on it. If you saw in my previous video that it was going to be a dog, or I'm sorry, not a dog or pass, just a pass, hard pass on it. I did send a text out that my lean was Karol Rosa to win this fight by decision, but not a fight I loved, not a fight that I wanted to start our night with. So that's 2 weeks in a row I did that. Last week I passed on the Pete Rodriguez-Mike Jackson fight, and this week I passed on the Karol Rosa-Lena Lansberg fight. But I did say a small lean, Rosa to win by decision at plus 110. If someone wanted to do it, have at it. Nothing official on my end. Fight 2, we started off the action. Muhammad Mokaev versus Malcolm Gordon. And the play that I put out was Muhammad Mokaev, it's been a long day. Muhammad Mokaev to win inside distance. We risked 2.25 units to win 1 unit. I rarely lay that kind of juice, but I was really feeling the finish. It wasn't going our way. I mean, the fight was absolutely going our way. Malcolm Gordon was hanging on the fight, even had his moments, and then got caught with a sleek armbar 2.5 minutes into the third round, and we cash it. I also had to play Mokaev by submission at plus 110 for a half unit. So all is great. We cash them all. When I have more than one play on a bet, and when I have more than one play on a fight and they all hit, it's my cash them all. We trademarked it. Cash them all is the MMA Sharks. Fight 1 that we bet, we cashed them all. Fight 2 was a total shit sandwich. I was pretty high on AJ Dobson in this spot. And by pretty high, I mean we risked a half unit on him at plus 175. I just thought that he was somewhat of a live dog on it. But yeah, no, he just did not come to fight. So we dropped a half unit on AJ Dobson, and we dropped a half unit on Dobson to win by TKO KO at plus 300. I kind of thought that Armin Petros was, a little weaker in this fight, and I thought that if Dobson wanted to have the bigger moments, he'd be able to. He just didn't get anything together. So no harm, no foul. We're through the first 3 fights. We're up a couple dollars. Nothing crazy. Fight 4, we start moving. I know Abubakar Nurmagomedov has not looked that great. He has 2 submission losses in the UFC. He just doesn't fight like a Nurmagomedov. But today he did. We had Abu Nurmagomedov. We risked the 1.65. He was minus 165 to win a unit. And we also threw out, and I say I'm the MMA Shark. I threw out a half unit play on him to win by decision at 140. Another cash 'em all scenario. Fight 5 is kind of where I gave away where I was leaning on the main event, where my play was going to be on the main event. And many of my subscribers were puzzled by this move, but I don't bet with my heart. I don't release plays with my heart. I like money more than I like a certain fighter. So what we did in Fight 5 was a 2-unit parlay at plus 140 odds. And the parlay was Nikita Krylov and Islam Makhachev. And Nikita Krylov was getting the shit kicked out of him early in the fight. But he proved over and over again that he's as durable as it gets. I mean, Nikita Krylov took Glover Teixeira to a split decision a few years ago. He was dropped by Jiri Prochazka. Not a bad loss to have on your resume. Volkan Oezdemir really took it to him early, but Nikita Krylov proved that he's better on the ground and as good on the feet. Certainly had more weapons in this fight, was able to get it done. We did drop a unit on Krylov to win by decision, so we lose a unit on the prop bet, but the parlay at plus 140 lived on. Fight 6, high on Caio Varralho. I've always been high on Caio Varralho. I think he's for real. Had him minus 200. Again, I hate releasing juice, but this was one of the cards that we kind of had to play the juice. The plus money wins definitely came. He was minus 200. We took him, risked 2 units to win 1 unit, but we had a huge parlay on this fight. A 3-leg parlay that was plus 260. And I kind of gave away my co-main event play this early. And I hate giving away my co-main event and main event plays in the prelims. But if it makes sense, it makes sense. So I threw out a 3-leg parlay. We risked 1.5 units at plus 260. That 3-leg parlay was Caio Varralho, Islam Makhachev, and Aljamain Sterling. Also took Varralho to win by decision, risked a half unit on it. It cashed. So we are now at our final prelim, a fight that I gave a really in-depth analysis on if you watch the preview video, and that was Belal Muhammad versus Sean Brady. And I sort of hinted at the fact that I was really feeling Belal Muhammad on this fight. Not because of Brady's gas tank. I know that that was really tested versus Chiesa. I felt that Belal Muhammad has been striking much better in his career the last 5 weeks, training with Khabib Nurmagomedov and Islam. I mean, toughest team in the world right now. I thought that Belal was definitely the better value on this. So I actually went with a max underdog play. And when I say a max underdog play, the highest play I will go on an underdog is 5 units. We cashed Belal Muhammad plus 120 for 5 units. That was my first of 4 major plays on the card. So we're leaving the prelims up right around 8.5, 9 units after the prelims, which was awesome. My wife does some really good graphics after the Belal Muhammad fight. I was able to put this out, and that's cash that dog, a plus money max dog. So we were able to cash that dog. Nothing better than cashing a dog in MMA, especially a live one like Belal Muhammad, fighting a fighter that is 15-0 and just beating the bejesus out of him, getting the finish in the second round. Main card started kind of slow. Like I said, right around 8 units going into the main card. Fight 1, I just took the value in this fight. Caitlin Chookagain versus Manon Fiorot, even as it gets. Absolute even fight. Chookagain won the first round, lost the second round. The third round was dead even, and Fiorot landed that takedown, which solidified the fight. No harm, no foul. Had a unit on Caitlin Chookagain. Not a big deal. So we're up around 7.5 at this point. Main card fight 2. I loved this fight. I told you guys I loved this fight. It was my free play. And it didn't work. Gamrot. Had Gamrot minus 195 as a max play. The largest I will ever go on a play is risking 7 units. And we did indeed risk 7 units on Matthias Gamrot over Beneil Dariush. He clearly won the first round. And then shit sandwich in the second and third round. Clearly lost that fight. The judges got it right, no problem. We're dead even at this point of the card with 3 huge fights left. And parlays that were open from earlier in the prelims. So, main card fight 3, Petrosyan. I had him 1 unit to win by TKO. That didn't happen. I also had Petrosyan in a parlay with Aljamain Sterling for 2 units. It won, but it didn't. What the fuck were the judges watching in this fight? How can they possibly score 2 rounds for Sean O'Malley? Go to MMADecisions.com and look at the media scores on this fight. 27 media outlets. Bloody Elbow, My MMA News, Bloody Elbow, MMA Junkie. Everybody had this fight either 30-27 or 29-28 for Petrosyan. I didn't even sweat it. It was a difference of 2 units in the night. It didn't change the trajectory of the night. This card was built around the co-main event and main event. And here's where it got crazy. Here's why I excel. Here's why you want to go over to www.themmashark.com and sign up. We've got a big triple header next Saturday. We've got Bellator at 12:30, UFC at 4:30, and I'm capping the Silva versus Jake Paul boxing match. I have a huge play on it with complete confidence. Next Saturday is going to be huge. Co-main event, Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw. I didn't even think twice about this play. Max play, max money on Aljamain Sterling. Minus 175, risk 7 units to win 4. Kept him alive in our 3-leg parlay with Kyle Varralho and Islam. Also, with the absolute most confidence in the world, Aljamain Sterling to win by finish, plus 300. I don't care that TJ hurt his shoulder in the fight. He skipped open workouts. He looked like death on the scale. He's got one win since 2018, and it was a split decision win over Sandhagen that I really don't think he won. Dillashaw is done. He's done at this elite top level. Ever since cheating the steroids, he admitted to it. He never had a chance in this fight. It was always Aljamain Sterling's fight. Hurt or not, Sterling was going to finish him. Only drawback I can have on Sterling is how did he not finish him in the first round with one arm, but he was also preserving his gas tank. Second round, game plan was absolutely perfect, cashing our third largest play. Four total large plays. 1, Bilal Muhammad. 2, Gamrot. 1-1 there. Sterling, max play, plus 300. Finish prop, cash them all. Just cash everything there. Huge win. Gained 5.5 units on the Sterling fight. Then, of course, the main event that everyone was waiting for. If you didn't see this, you really should sign up to me because I saw this from a mile away. The whole world was on Charles Oliveira. And now I know a lot of you guys probably, bet Islam Makhachev because you thought he was going to win the fight. The casual MMA bettor saw Charles Oliveira at plus 150 to plus 160 and said, oh my God, this is free money. Islam hasn't fought anyone. Charles is going to knock him out in the first round. Charles made weight. He's going to knock him out. Listen, I love Charles Oliveira. Bronx is absolutely one of the original OGs in the UFC. He's as tough as it gets. He's coming in on a 12-fight win streak. He never had a chance in this fight. As crazy as it sounds, he never had a chance in this fight. Islam is on a whole nother level. There's levels to this. There's aging to this. I took this play with complete confidence. I got funky with it. We had the plus 260 3-leg parlay, cash on Islam. We had the 2-leg parlay, cash on Islam. I put out a play, Islam Makhachev to win by any finish, risk at minus 110, risk 4.4 units to win 4 units on it. I put out under 2.5, minus 155 for another 3.1 units. Just cash everything. The main fights hit. That's what it's all about. I don't play for percentage. I play for where we at the end of the night. We end the night plus 14 units or 13.98, somewhere right around there. Year to date, plus 420 units. If you've watched my first YouTube video that started a little over a month ago, I was plus 340 units on the year. I've now climbed to plus 420. These are transparent results. And another image that was made that I was really hoping I could display after this tricky card is this. Another winning night. I have not lost many cards at all since October 20th, the Edwards versus Usman card. Took a beating that night. It made me a better capper. It gave me more confidence back. I saw what I had to do there. And even losing that card, didn't really matter in the aspect of where we were for the year. At the end of that card, we were still up to 300 and I believe 8 units for the year. But now we have sailed to plus 420 units on the year. The best MMA is still ahead of us this year, all the way till December 17th. We've got cards every weekend. I will always be ready for them. Transparent results no matter what. I tell you when I win. I tell you when I lose. Like and subscribe to this channel. Check me out on Instagram at the MMA Shark Capper. I try to get every fight updated as soon as it ends. It's linked with my Facebook, the MMA Shark. But yes, another huge day. Another day to celebrate. Another day to cash tickets. It was a long day. It was an excruciating card to handicap. But I went into this card very, very high on Aljamain Sterling to get the win and the finish. And very, very high on Islam Makhachev to get the win and finish. Again, Charles Oliveira fans, no disrespect. No disrespect to Bronx. I love Charles Oliveira. I had him in probably 10 of his last 12 fights. And he's a stud. I think maybe the right move for him would be to go up to 170 now and really display his speed and talent without the weight cut. We all saw the picture of the weight cut. It was quite horrifying, honestly, and only made my decision easier to back Islam on this fight. Islam was on weight 2 days prior, so even without the weight cut, Islam was by far the stronger fighter in this fight. And Charles had his moments in round one. A couple spots in clinch, if he would have improved his position, he probably would have been in a dominant position. But Islam is just that much more powerful. Volkanovski talking about coming up to 155 to challenge Islam. Me personally, I don't think Dana lets that fight happen. I think that they need to give Islam some title defenses in that division to further solidify the deepest division in MMA. Aljamain Sterling, he's going to be a problem. I cannot think of another bantamweight to challenge him, to actually give him a run for the money. I think they probably should run it back with Sandhagen. I think that's a good fight. I think it's a marketable fight. And Sandhagen is tough, but if you remember, Aljamain Sterling did rear naked choke finish Cody Sandhagen. And I don't know, Aljo is, you think Aljo is a joke. A lot of people call him a clown still. The over celebration in the Petrosyan fight one, I get it, carrying the belt around and trolling, but he backed it up. He fought Petrosyan the second time. He ragdolled him, very similar to the TJ fight today. Obviously, Piotr did put up a better fight versus Sterling than Dillashaw did. Like I said, busted shoulder or not, that was going to be the result of that fight. And, Petrosyan, you got to feel for the guy. Loses his title with the illegal knee. He shouldn't have thrown it. Gets his rematch, loses a split decision on a fight that we were huge on Aljamain Sterling in. And then one of the worst robberies. I mean, I'm talking Johnny Hendricks GSP robbery in that fight. Sean O'Malley was even surprised that he won the fight. And I will give Sean O'Malley credit. He proved he does belong. He can hang with a top 5 at 135. That was his first true test. I can't say I'm not happy for O'Malley getting the win. It's not his fault that he got the win. But I don't know what they were looking at. 5.5 minutes of ground control time. For the MMA Sharks, it wasn't a dagger. It took us from high 13s. We would have been mid 17s if we didn't get robbed. The 2-unit parlay would have cashed instead of losing. I'm not sweating it. Another big day. Any day that is a winning day is a great day. And any double-digit winning pay-per-view is an amazing day. And we were all well over double digits today. Plastered all over the internet. Everyone was on TJ and Charles. They were wrong. And this is what I do. We get them right. So, got my hat on for tomorrow. My Giants looking to make it to 6-1. The best thing since sliced bread are the 2022 New York Giants. I do say that kind of jokingly. I don't think we're really a 6-1 team, but I'm a diehard New York Giants fan, so I will bleed blue whether we are 2-12 or 12-2. But I'm all about MMA, leisure. I watch some football. I like the Giants, and that's about it. So that is the full UFC 280 recap. Check out my channel later this week. I will have preview videos for Bellator on Saturday. I will have a preview video for UFC on Saturday, where we have Calvin Kattar taking on Arnold Allen in the main event. Complete, amazing main event. It's going to be a war. I already have my lean on it. Stuff can change, so check it out, www.themmashark.com. 25% off code. Embed it into the website. Get your first month for right around $80. Imagine if you were a $20 bettor just today, how much you would have won just this month. We are over 60 units on this month. Actually, I think we're getting closer to 63, 64 units this month. $10 better, you're up $620 this month. So it's a really good investment. The ROI with me is absolutely insane. It's been this way for 7 years, a system that won't be broken. And that is a wrap on UFC 280. I look forward to UFC Fight Night 63 coming up on Saturday. And of course, Bellator coming up on Saturday. Big week ahead of handicapping. For now, I'm checking out. Check me out, www.themmashark.com. Subscribe to this channel. I'm constantly dropping free plays. And let's all make some money. Let's go.